Hi there, welcome to Graph Mode Part 1. In this part we will look at how to draw graphs from formulas for a function and look at how to best display the graph and work with it in a basic way. I'd like you to highlight Graph Mode as shown here on this calculator by hitting either, there's its number, 5 on the keypad, or by scrolling to that part of the screen using this button here. If you then hit execute, you come to this screen. Wow, what's that function doing there? I wonder if you remember. Back in table mode, we were using a function to describe the taxi problem, and that was it here. But what's happened? This is a handy property of the Casio. It will automatically copy across functions used in table mode so that we can investigate their graphs more fully in graph mode. So at the moment we don't need this function, so I would like you to delete this by using del. So here, if you look at del, to access that you'll hit the button immediately below it, which is F2. So I'd like you to do that now. And the calculator checks that we haven't wrongly hit delete, so it asks us to, if we're sure, and so, yeah, we're sure we want to delete this formula, so we will hit F1 in here. So if you do that now, it's all gone. Okay. And the Y1 line is ready for us to enter another function. So I'd like you to enter y equals 2x plus 1, and we do that by hitting 2, and then remember here the x is in here, and then plus and 1, just one thing after the other there, and enter that into that line. And when you do that, it should look like this here. And if we then hit execute, we have the function has highlighted or been selected because the equal sign in there has been highlighted. That means the calculator is ready to work with that function. So now if we hit F6, now here, why would we do that? There's draw for drawing the graph. Hit F6, or in actual fact, you could hit just execute. So I want you to do that. So hit F6 or execute, and we come to this screen here. Here we can see part of the graph of y equals 2x plus 1. There are no negatives though. It's only the positive x-axis and the positive y-axis. Nothing over here or downwards. There's nothing there. So let's enlarge the view window. That's the window that the calculator is showing us here so that we can view the function. Do you remember how to do that from table mode? Let's see if we can find it. There it is in there, view window or V window. So to access that we have to hit Shift and then F3 to access that view window. And if you do that, we come to this window here. We've seen this before in table mode, and this is the window we set for the taxi problem. Start at 0 kilometres, go 10 kilometres, and 0 cost up to a cost of $35. So let's enlarge that by choosing a default setting there. Now, init is the initial window or a starting window that the calculator provides for us, and to use that we will hit F1. So let's do that now. Here is our initial window. This gives us x values there from -6.3 to 6.3, and y values from -3.1 to 3.1. So that should be okay. That'll give us a fair range of x's and y's. So if we're happy with that, let's hit execute. So down here now, hit execute if we're happy with that window. And here we go back to the function window to check that we're happy. Yes, the correct function is still highlighted there, so we want to choose draw. So we'll hit F6, or you could just hit execute. If you do, that's a better looking graph. Now we can see a more complete picture. I'd like you to now exit this screen here, and to exit this screen we'll use this button in here, the exit button. Exit the screen then, and we go back to the function screen, and the Y2 line is highlighted. So we could enter another function there. Let's put in a different looking one, y equals 2x plus 50. I'd like you to enter that there. So now it's the same process. So while it's highlighted, enter 2, and then that's the x, and then plus, and 50, 5, 0, and if you do that and then hit execute, you'll come to this screen now. And we can see that there are two functions now selected. The equal sign of y1 is highlighted, and the equal sign of y2. So this is the magic of this calculator. It can actually draw all the highlighted functions on the one set of axes if we want. So get it to do that, let's choose draw again by hitting F6, or you can just hit execute, and let's do that now. Oh no, that didn't work too well. We've only got the first graph. I think this looks like the Y1 graph. What happened to Y2? Do you know why it hasn't appeared here? Oh yes, well, Y2 was equal to 2x plus 50. So you can see that with 50 added to 2x, the values for y are going to be much larger. So we might have to go back to that view window and adjust it. So let's go and do that now. So we want to go to the view window. So we need to hit shift, and then to get up the top of F3, then F3. So let's do that now. Now we're back to that initial window. So we probably want to enlarge this in both the x and y direction. Now I'm pretending now you don't know much mathematics about the function 2x plus 50, but you can see there's a big number there. So let's perhaps just have a guess and change this minimum x to neg 50. So I want you to enter that, then hit execute, then plus 50 in there, and hit execute. Now we'll leave these next two lines and go to the y. So let's make the y minimum neg 50 and the y maximum plus 50. Now if you looked at the mathematics behind the function y equals 2x plus 50, you could work out exactly the sort of view window you might like there. But let's just take this as a guess, and after you've entered that, I want you to hit execute. So let's check that window now. So yes, that looks correct. Now let's try to display the graphs. So we need to actually hit execute again now, and twice more actually, to go to the next window to draw, and then to come on to the graph. So we can see the two graphs there nicely. Okay, so the scale has changed up here. That goes right up to 50 now, and you can see it's crossing through here at, well, do you know? I think it's neg 25, isn't it? So there's our two graphs, they're parallel lines. Bit of maths in that. What was y1? y1 was 2x plus 1, and y2 was 2x plus 50. I think you might remember the number in front of x is the slope, sometimes called the m value, the slope or gradient, so they did have the same slopes, and that's why they're parallel. And then this number here and this number here are the y-intercepts. So that's why we had to go so far up, because 50 up the top here was the y-intercept of that second y2 function. All right, so what I'd like you to do now is to go back and hit the exit button, and we return to the graph screen again, and I want to show you another way of capturing a graph when the numbers are larger. So we might have no idea, so let's go to view window again. So view window, hit shift and then F3. Let's do that now, and here we are. Let's return this to init, the initial view window, by hitting F1. So if we do that, we get the standard window, and we can see that we haven't got Y2. Okay, so to actually get that, you have to hit execute twice, come back to that graph. Now we haven't got y equals 2x plus 50 displayed. So let's get the calculator to find that function itself. Find the window. So we could zoom out, we can also zoom in. So there's zoom there. So if we hit shift and F2, okay, so let's do that now. And we get this screen, and we need to choose auto. Okay, and so by choosing F5, hit F5, we will actually get the calculator to zoom out to find the graph. So I'd like you to do that now. Oh, there it is. We've got both of them there. The calculator's automatically adjusted the window to capture the two graphs. Let's see what else we can do to explore these graphs further. I want you to trace along the graphs to explore what points might lie on these two graphs. So I want you to choose trace. Now, do you remember that one? There it is up there. We've used that back in table mode as well. So to choose that, we hit shift and then F1. And so I'd like you to do that now. And we see the crosshairs sitting there on the Y1 function, and it's telling you that it's dealing with Y1 by that statement up the top. And we can see here that that point where the crosshairs are sitting is the point given by x equals 0, y equals 1. So that's quite handy. Now, if we want to pop across to Y2, this graph up here, and have a look at it, we can push this button here. So I'd like you to do that now. And there we have it. The crosshairs are actually sitting on the Y2 function. And it now indicates that that point is the point where x is 0 and y is 50. So this is very handy. Let's move along this graph to see other points. So I'd like you to hit this button here, and let's go to the left. I'd like you to do that now. And you can see we have moved slightly this way, going downwards. And we can see that x is now negative 0.1 and y is 49.8. So we can keep moving in either direction along either of the graphs to investigate other points. This is quite a handy application that the Casio's got here. So you'll use this quite a bit later on in mathematics to explore points and other properties of points on graphs. All right, so That's the end of part one. I hope you've enjoyed this introduction to graph mode. The Casio certainly helps us a lot in understanding and working with graphs. But that's not all yet. Graph mode part two has more exciting things to offer. I'll catch you then.